Chapter 1 Cybercrimes in India. The advancement of technology has made man dependent on internet for all his needs. Internet has given man easy access to everything while sitting at one place. Social networking, online shopping, storing data, gaming, online studying, online jobs, every possible thing that man can think of can be done through the medium of internet. Internet is used in almost every sphere. With the development of the internet and its related benefits also developed the concept of cybercrimes. Cybercrimes are committed in different forms. A few years back, there was lack of awareness about the crimes that could be committed through internet. In the matters of cybercrimes, India is also not far behind the other countries where the rate of incidence of cybercrimes is also increasing day by day. In a report published by the National Crime Records Bureau Report, NCRB 2011, the incidence of cybercrimes under the IT Act has increased by 85.4% in the year 2011 as compared to 2010 in India, whereas the increase in incidence of the crime under IPC is by 18.5% as compared to the year 2010. Visakhapatnam records the maximum number of incidents of cases. Maharashtra has emerged as the center of cybercrime with maximum number of incidents of registered cases under cybercrimes. Hacking with computer systems and obscene publication were the main cases under IT Act for cybercrimes. Maximum offenders arrested for cybercrimes were in the age group 18 to 30 years. 563 people in the age group 18 to 30 years were arrested in the year 2010, which had increased to 883 in the year 2011. 1.1 Cybercrime types. Cybercrimes can be defined as the unlawful acts where the computer is used either as a tool or a target or both. The term is a general term that covers crimes like phishing, credit card frauds, bank robbery, illegal downloading, industrial espionage, child pornography, kidnapping children via chat rooms, scams, cyber terrorism, creation and or distribution of viruses, spam and so on. Cybercrime is a broad term that is used to define criminal activity in which computers or computer networks are a tool, a target, or a place of criminal activity and include everything from electronic cracking to denial of service attacks. It also covers the traditional crimes in which computers or networks are used to enable the illicit. Different types of cybercrimes. Cybercrimes can be categorized in two ways. 1. The crimes in which the computer is the target. Examples of such crimes are hacking, virus attacks, DOS attack, etc. 2. The crimes in which the computer is used as a weapon. These types of crimes include cyber terrorism, IPR violations, credit card frauds, EFT frauds, pornography, etc. Different kinds of cybercrimes. The different kinds of cybercrimes are: 1. Unauthorized access and hacking. Unauthorized access means any kind of access without the permission of either of the rightful or person in charge of the computer, computer system or computer network. Hacking means an illegal intrusion into a computer system and or network. Every act committed towards breaking into a computer and or network is hacking. Hackers write or use ready-made computer programs to attack the target computer. They possess the desire to destruct and they get the kick out of such destruction. Some hackers hack for personal monetary gains, such as to stealing the credit card information, transferring money from various bank accounts to their own account followed by withdrawal of money. Government websites are the most targeted sites for the hackers. 2. Web hijacking. Web hijacking means taking forceful control of another person's website. In this case, the owner of the website loses control over his website and its content. 3. Cyberstalking. In general terms, stalking can be termed as the repeated acts of harassment targeting the victim, such as following the victim, making harassing phone calls, killing the victim's pet, vandalizing victim's property, leaving written messages or objects. Stalking may be followed by serious violent acts such as physical harm to the victim. Cyberstalking means repeated acts of harassment or threatening behavior of the cybercriminal towards the victim by using internet services. Both kind of stalkers, i.e., online and offline, have desire to control the victim's life. How do cyberstalkers operate? They collect all personal information about the victim such as name, family background, telephone numbers of residence and workplace, daily routine of the victim, address of residence and place of work, date of birth, etc. If the stalker is one of the acquaintances of the victim, he can easily get this information. If stalker is a stranger to victim, he collects the information from the internet resources such as various profiles the victim may have filled in while opening the chat or email account or while signing an account with some website. The stalker may post this information on any website related to sex services or dating services, posing as if the victim is posting this information and invite the people to call the victim on her telephone numbers to have sexual services. Stalker even uses very filthy and obscene language to invite the interested persons. People of all kind from nook and corner of the world, who come across this information, start calling the victim at her residence and or workplace, asking for sexual services or relationships. Some stalkers subscribe the email account of the victim to innumerable pornographic and sex sites, because of which victim starts receiving such kind of unsolicited emails. Some stalkers keep on sending repeated emails asking for various kinds of favors or threaten the victim. In online stalking, the stalker can make third party to harass the victim. Follow their victim from board to board. They hang out on the same BBs as their victim, many times posting notes to the victim, making sure the victim is aware that he or she is being followed. Many times they will flame their victim, becoming argumentative, insulting, to get their attention. Stalkers will almost always make contact with their victims through email. The letters may be loving, threatening, or sexually explicit. He will many times use multiple names when contacting the victim. Contact victim via telephone. If the stalker is able to access the victim's telephone, he will many times make calls to the victim to threaten, harass, or intimidate them. Track the victim to his/her home. Denial of service attack. This is an attack in which the criminal floods the bandwidth of the victim's network or fills his email box with spam mail, depriving him of the services he is entitled to access or provide. This kind of attack is designed to bring the network to crash by flooding it with useless traffic. Another variation to a typical denial of service attack is known as a distributed denial of service (DDoS) attack, wherein the perpetrators are many and are geographically widespread. Many DOS attacks, such as the ping of death and teardrop attacks, exploit limitations in the TCP/IP protocols. For all known DOS attacks, there are software fixes that system administrators can install to limit the damage caused by the attacks. But, like virus, new DOS attacks are constantly being dreamed up by hacker. Virus attacks. Viruses are the programs that have the capability to infect other programs and make copies of itself and spread into other programs. Programs that multiply like viruses but spread from computer to computer are called as worms. These are malicious software that attach themselves to other software. Virus, worms, Trojan horse, time bomb, logic bomb, rabbit and bacterium are the malicious. Viruses usually affect the data on a computer, either by altering or deleting it. On the other hand, worms merely make functional copies of themselves and do this repeatedly till they eat up all the available. Trojan horse is a program that acts like something useful but do the things that are quite damping. Trojans come in two parts, a client part and a server part. When the victim, unknowingly, runs the server on its machine, the attacker will then use the client to connect to the server and start using the Trojan. TCP/IP protocol is the usual protocol type used for communications, but some functions of the Trojans use the UDP protocol as well. 6. Software piracy. Software piracy refers to the illegal copying of genuine programs or the counterfeiting and distribution of products intended to pass for the original. These kind of crimes also include copyright infringement, trademarks violations, theft of computer source code, patent violations, etc. Domain names are also trademarks and protected by ICANN's domain dispute resolution policy and also under trademark laws. Cybersquatters register domain name identical to popular service providers' names so as to attract their users and get benefit from them. 7. Salami attacks. These attacks are used for the commission of financial crimes. The key here is to make the alteration so insignificant that in a single case it would go completely unnoticed. For example, a bank employee inserts a program into the bank's servers that deducts a small amount of money, say 5 rupees a month, from the account of every customer. No account holder will probably notice this unauthorized debit, but the bank employee will make a sizable amount of money every month. 8. Phishing. Phishing is the act of sending an email to a user falsely claiming to be an established legitimate enterprise in an attempt to scam the user into surrendering private information that will be used for identity theft. The email directs the user to visit a website where they are asked to update personal information, such as passwords and credit card, social security, and bank account numbers that the legitimate organization already has. The website, however, is bogus and set up only to steal the user's information. By spamming large groups of people, the phisher counted on the email being read by a percentage of people who actually had listed credit card numbers with legitimately. 9. Sale of illegal articles. This category of cybercrimes includes sale of narcotics, weapons and wildlife etc., by posting information on websites, auction websites, and bulletin boards, or simply by using email communication. 10. Online gambling. There are millions of websites, all hosted on servers abroad, that offer online gambling. In fact, it is believed that many of these websites are actually fronts for money laundering. Cases of hawala transactions and money laundering over the internet have been reported. 11. Email spoofing. Email spoofing refers to email that appears to originate from one source but actually has been sent from another source. Email spoofing can also cause monetary damage. 12. Cyber defamation. When a person publishes defamatory matter about someone on a website or sends emails containing defamatory information to all of that person's friends, it is termed as cyber defamation. 13. Forgery. Computers, printers and scanners are used to forge counterfeit currency notes, postage and revenue stamps, mark sheets etc. These are made using computers, and high-quality scanners and printers. 14. Theft of information contained in electronic form. This includes theft of information stored in computer hard disks, removable storage media etc. 15. Email bombing. Email bombing refers to sending a large number of emails to the victim resulting in the victim's email account, in case of an individual, or mail servers, in case of a company or an email service provider, crashing. 16. Data diddling. This kind of an attack involves altering raw data just before it is processed by a computer and then changing it back after the processing is completed. 17. Internet time theft. Internet time refers to usage by an unauthorized person of the internet hours paid for by another person. 18. Theft of computer system. This type of offense involves the theft of a computer, some parts of a computer or a peripheral attached to the computer. 19. Physically damaging a computer system. This crime is committed by physically damaging a computer or its peripherals. 20. Breach of privacy and confidentiality. Privacy refers to the right of an individual/s to determine when, how and to what extent his or her personal data will be shared with others. Breach of privacy means unauthorized use or distribution or disclosure of personal information. Confidentiality means non-disclosure of information to unauthorized or unwanted persons. In addition to personal information, some other type of information which useful for business and leakage of such information to other persons may cause damage to business or person, such information should be protected. Generally, for protecting secrecy of such information, parties while sharing information forms an agreement about the procedure of handling of information and to not to disclose such information to third parties or use it in such a way that it will be disclosed to third parties. Many times party or their employees leak such valuable information for monetary gains and causes breach of contract of confidentiality. Special techniques such as social engineering are commonly used to obtain confidential information. 21. Data diddling. Data diddling involves changing data prior or during input into a computer. The information is changed from the way it should be entered by a person typing in the data, a virus that changes data, the programmer of the database or application, or anyone else involved in the process of having information stored in a computer file. It also includes automatic changing the financial information for some time before processing and then restoring original information. 22. e-commerce/investment frauds, an offering that uses false or fraudulent claims to solicit investments or loans, or that provides for the purchase, use, or trade of forged or counterfeit securities. Merchandise or services that were purchased or contracted by individuals online are never delivered. The fraud attributable to the misrepresentation of a product advertised for sale through an internet auction site or the non-delivery of products purchased through an internet auction site. Investors are enticed to invest in this fraudulent scheme by the promises of abnormally high profits. 23. Cyberterrorism, targeted attacks on military installations, power plants, air traffic control, banks, rail traffic control, telecommunication networks are the most likely targets. Others like police, medical, fire and rescue systems etc. Cyberterrorism is an attractive option for modern terrorists for several reasons. It is cheaper than traditional terrorist methods. Cyberterrorism is more anonymous than traditional terrorist methods. The variety and number of targets are enormous. Cyberterrorism can be conducted remotely, a feature that is especially appealing to terrorists. Cyberterrorism has the potential to affect directly a larger number of people. The list of offenses given above is not exhaustive and would also include any other types of offenses that would be committed through a computer or against a computer in the future. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.